Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us on the Rochester Press Box. Bill Pucko with you, along with Tariq Spence in the middle. Tariq, how you doing? Looking sharp?
Feeling good. My mom got me this shirt for my birthday.
Has that been recently?
Yes. It just came in the mail the other day.
Well, happy birthday.
Do you see what he did there? Hey, I got a present for my birthday, guys.
It isn't
Happy
for another
birthday,
2 weeks,
Tariq. Happy birthday.
Okay. Oh, he's giving us heads up on it, too. Pat, how you doing, man? What are you wearing? Yeah, I vaguely remember those things.
Well, this would be the Sabres alternate Butter Knives jersey, and it's a Chris Gratton Butter Knives jersey celebrating the rock-solid center that we picked up, down the line here in Buffalo with Eric Stahl coming in. So the last rock-solid second-line center we have. Good to go. Stanley Cup. I'm excited.
Hey, Tariq, let's talk a little baseball. We got the World Series going on. Chance to kind of break down where the game is headed. There was a lot of what strikes me is the percentage of runs that are being scored off the home run these days, and how much I miss some of the smaller things. And then last night, game one, the Dodgers put together the breakout inning, essentially without using the long ball, putting together the little things. Is there still a place for small ball in baseball?
Absolutely. I mean, look how many times it was either feast or famine for the New York Yankees to try to win in the playoffs. They either hit the long ball and won the series, or they didn't hit the long ball and it cost them the series. I mean, that's how their team was built. Unfortunately, you've got to find ways to steal bases. I mean, I saw that last night. Mookie Betts did it. And players have got to start moving runners over. It's worked for a number of years, but we once again, fell in love with the long ball. Right back in the 90s, you used to have a commercial, chicks dig the long ball. We fell in love with it again. And really, it's resulted in a lot of teams advancing on. But that's feast or famine. And the sport has really changed, I think, definitely on the mound.
The long ball has always been prevalent, but it got backed up by analytics, Pat. Now they have evidence that says this is how you ought to be playing the game.
Well, and it's been that way forever. Look, I've also find it interesting. You think it's bad after game one as we're taping this show, right? Like as this series goes on, playing back to back, you're going to have pitchers that wouldn't normally be starting games in a World Series that are now going to be on the mound against guys that are swinging for the fences every single time. Like the longer this series goes on, the worse it's going to get, because those pitches thrown by game 3, 4, and 5 guys would be pitches that would be thrown, like a starter, an ace who would be starting 1, 5, 7. But I do have to say, I like it, one, for the excitement. Like, you never know what's going to happen when somebody's at the plate. And 2, you're able to turn these games on their head. There is no lead that is a safe lead now, and that makes for very exciting baseball in the fall.
Is this generational? Is it just me? Because to me, the 3 best plays in baseball are the triple, the hit and run, a successful hit and run, and a suicide squeeze. And the hit and run and the suicide squeeze are things that I haven't seen not once in the postseason.
No, earlier I saw stolen base and I was kind of shocked. I like the small ball aspect of it. It keeps you in the game. You never know when one run in one inning might be the difference in a game that's played in 9 innings or even in extra innings. You never know how beneficial that's going to be. But we're seeing a lot of feast or famine, 5-run innings, 3-run innings, and that's the ball game for you. I think what's interesting is generational is the pitching. We used to have starters go 7, 8 innings, complete games. And that doesn't exist anymore. Like, literally, they're saying that Clayton Kershaw, who's had his troubles in the playoffs, dominated, and he only pitched 5, 6 innings, if that. And literally, that's half a game. You go to your bullpen for a couple of outs, and you're surviving to get outs, basically, to get to 9 innings so you can win a game. So pitching is totally different now than I've ever seen before. And a team is never out of the game, too, because one bad pitching move can result in a big inning.
But you can also make the argument that the development of pitchers like Clayton Kershaw, I mean, look, you've seen pitchers the last couple of years that are just unbelievable. If he would have pitched back in the day, 30, 40, 50 years ago, he's a dominant pitcher. The fact that these home runs are coming at the rate that they are give these other teams the ability to combat him, right? Like if Clayton Kershaw pitched in the 70s or the 80s, who's hitting him? Who's winning a game against him, right? He's not going to see the order the 3rd, 4th time, and that's when Clayton Kershaw is at his best, right? Like, it's the home run ability that keeps Clayton Kershaw from shutting down games and making it completely unwatchable.
We are the Rochester Press Box, and we're talking Buffalo Bills next.
Original Bay Goodman Pizza, located on the corner of North Winton at Browncroft. There are 3 ways to get the original Bay and Goodman delivery. Go to baygoodman.com.
Thanks for joining us. Welcome back to the Rochester Press Box, talking Buffalo Bills. Pat, I guess the Jets come at a pretty good time, don't they?
Yeah, I need this one bad, man. What the heck? The last 2 weeks. I will say this, man. I am a little bit disappointed in Bills fan nation, Bills Mafia, whatever you want to call it. Like, it sucks the way that they lost these last 2 games. But if you would have told someone August 1st the Bills are going to be 4-2 after 6 games, heck, if you would have told Bills fans they would be 4-2 going into the stretch of the last 4 games, they would have been doing cartwheels for it. Things outside of your control happen the last 2 weeks. All right, what are you going to do? You're a game and a half up on the Dolphins with the win over them. You're 2 games over the Patriots after losing 2 straight games, and you have the Jets coming, or you're going to New York. The sky is not falling. Everything is going to be just fine. And the Bills have a history of righting the ship defensively under McDermott after about game 6, 7, 8. So I'm not really all that worried.
You worried about how the Chiefs beat the Bills with that constant running thing? And I bring that up because I brought Star Lotulelei's name up last week, like first time in weeks we'd consider that. Maybe that's a factor.
No, I don't think. Listen, I think it's a huge factor. I think it should be something the Bills should be worried about. The fact that they had that many rushing yards against them. I've never really even seen that before. But at any rate, listen, you have the best news for the Buffalo Bills is that Adam Gase didn't get fired. Okay, so that means that he will be coaching on the sidelines on Sunday. The Bills will get a much-deserved win. They'll be able to right the ship and get ready for New England, and then get ready to play, whoever else is down the line. I mean, you got the Seattle Seahawks, you got the Arizona Cardinals, you got Miami again at the end of this year. So I feel as if the Bills will get back on this ship. You knew we weren't going to go 16-0. I think everybody kind of knew that. And it just brings them back to reality a little bit. You got some work to do. You took on the defending champions and a team that's contending in the AFC East the last 2 weeks. Come on. And you did it and still were somewhat in the game. Like you didn't get blown out of the game. The Titans game was a lot closer than the final score. So you're still okay, Duffy. You're all right. You just need a hug.
Come here.
Hey, 10.5 points is the largest the Bills have been favored on the road in like 20 years. I find that interesting.
And a little low.
I think it says more to the Jets than it does to the Bills. I mean, if you look statistically at what the Jets are doing, man, it is a tire fire. And I'm not talking just this season. I'm talking historically. Like, you look at the 2 teams that have gone 0-16 in NFL history, the Browns and the Lions in their respective season. This Jets team is measurably worse statistically than both of those teams, which, I mean, if you think back to watching those teams in the seasons where they went 0-16, it seems almost impossible yet. Oh my God, what is Adam Gase doing?
I love that you can say it. It's almost the way, like, they're every bit as worthy of going 0-16 as those 2 teams, Tariq.
Yeah, they got rid of their best running back. Their starting quarterback, who knows who it's going to be. And their head coach is just waiting to get fired. I don't understand how he wasn't fired 2 weeks ago, like I predicted. They're now you have coaches going at each other. Defensive coach is upset with the head coach. They're making comments in the media. It's if the Bills don't win by at least 2-3 touchdowns, there's something wrong with the Bills.
Pick it, my friend.
Yeah, Bills by 2-3 touchdowns.
All right. Guess you just said that, Pat.
All right, Bills win. They're not going to cover, and I'm going to tell you why. 10 points is a lot of points. Also, I feel like they're going to be working stuff out, and that's why they're not going to keep their foot on the gas, and we're going to see some things defensively. Look, I would love for the Bills to go in and win 30-3. That would be awesome. But I see more like 31-22, and that 22 comes in garbage time from the Jets. It'll be a blowout win, but it's going to look a lot closer than it actually is when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I like it as a 10-point game myself. I think that half makes a difference. I got a 24-14. We're the Rochester Press Box. That's Buffalo Bills, like it or not. It's next. Here's the Press Box trivia question, brought to you by Market View Liquor, where exceptional customer service meets an extensive selection. Jefferson Road at 390.
All of these things show Josh Allen has a strive for greatness inside of him.
Falcon Around with Carl Falk. New episodes every Tuesday on Rock Sports Now.
Here's the Press Box Trivia answer, brought to you by Market View Liquor, where exceptional customer service meets an extensive selection. Jefferson Road at 390.
Are you facing criminal charges from a DWI and feel that you never imagined it could happen to you? Contact attorneys with years of experience as prosecutors and defenders. Contact Ganguly Brothers Law today for a free consultation. You can put your trust in us.
Welcome back to the Rochester Press Box. This segment of the Press Box is brought to you by Ganguly Brothers Law Firm, attorneys with years of experience defending the accused. Don't go unprepared. Contact Ganguly Brothers Law today. Like it or not, Tariq, Le'Veon Bell.
Oh my gosh, dude, what a way to get out of purgatory. I mean, literally, he gets out of the Jets, released and goes to the Super Bowl champion, chance to go back-to-back Kansas City Chiefs. I got to be happy if I'm Le'Veon Bell. Literally, the Jets are imploding in front of everyone's eyes. That is a team going nowhere fast, and now he gets a chance to go for a ring. I mean, this is the perfect opportunity for him to cash in on that. Le'Veon Bell is smart. Listen, Jamal Adams is smart. Anybody who gets out of the New York Jets organization and continues to play football in the NFL is smart right about now.
You know, Pat, he passes through waiver zone. I have to wonder, what's left in his tank? I don't see this as being a real big acquisition.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, you did have the Bills in on him hard. The Dolphins also went on him hard. I don't know. A team like Kansas City and even a team like Buffalo to a point, when you already have so many weapons, you can just focus on what he does really, really well. And a running back that can move the way he does, that can catch balls out of the backfield, I mean, that's tailor-made for what they're doing in Kansas City. Anybody else, like LaShawn McCoy last season, that was a joke. This I think, is a legitimate move.
You know, while I got you, do the Buffalo Bills not run the ball well because they can't or they don't? You know, they don't choose to.
They've tried the last couple of weeks. They've tried to make a move. They can't. And I don't know if it's the offensive line and the way that's been moving around all season long due to injuries. I don't know if it has to do with Devin Singletary, but it's an issue right now.
Tariq, would they have benefited by signing Bell, do you think?
They would have benefited from it because literally it's somebody in their backfield that's running the ball that's not Josh Allen. And I told everybody, please don't let him continue to rush the football. He's athletic, it's great, but he could get injured, and it's starting to take a toll on him because now they can know full well, let's watch Allen and study him. They have enough film on him, and it hurts them offensively.
Pat, like it or not, one of your boys, Ryan Fitzpatrick, got benched in Miami for the kid Tua.
I mean, it was just a matter of time. I do find the timing interesting, though. The Dolphins are only a game back of the Bills in the AFC East, and Ryan Fitzpatrick is playing the best football of his career. He's got a completion percentage over 70% right now. His teammates, as usual, love him. That team believes because of Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't know how upset Ryan Fitzpatrick can be. He probably knew this was coming down the pike, and a guy like that is going to encourage Tua Tagovailoa to take it. I just don't get why, if you're Miami, you do it now. I mean, you're getting experience for the kid, but there might be something here in an AFC that's become a little bit wonky in the last 3 weeks.
Can I throw in one note, though? Ryan Fitzpatrick would be great on another team that needs a quarterback right about now. So he'd be a great chip to trade down the line if you're going to go with Tua the rest of the way. But the AFC is still winnable. There's a number of teams out there that might want to do a quarterback change. One, Washington, who looks terrible, but so is the NFC East. And the other one, too, you might be surprised with this, San Francisco. Jimmy G has not been playing well the last couple of weeks.
You know, those things notwithstanding, I think to Pat's point, Miami's in this race at 3-3. They're a game behind Buffalo. And I don't believe, as good as the other rookies have been playing in the NFL, that Miami can be any better for making this quarterback switch if they're taking themselves seriously as a playoff contender. This is almost like they're throwing in the towel for their future.
That's exactly what it is. They're going to sacrifice the rest of the season to get this kid snaps, which I get it. I understand it. I just don't know why you do it at 3-3. I mean, look, I'm going to knock on wood. Any injury in the AFC East right now, you saw what happened to the Patriots the last couple of weeks, and COVID throws a whole thing upside down. I mean, that Dolphins fan base has been suffering for a long, long time. Why not give them something to love and believe in for a little bit while?
Hey, Tariq,
perfect timing, though. It's at the bye week. It's perfect timing. It's at the bye week. You do get the Rams after that, though. That's kind of good. Welcome to the NFL with Aaron Donald.
Hey, Tariq, give me one line on, we got the Steelers playing at the Titans, a couple of unbeatens in the AFC this week. What do you like there?
Steelers. I just think that they're really locked in. They're playing very well. They're pretty healthy. Their defense is good. I go Steelers probably by 7.
And Buffalo still has to see them later on. This is the Rochester Press Box. Like it or not, brought to you by Gay and Gooley Brothers. And Unfinished Business is next.
The Press Box Stat of the Week is being brought to you by McArdle's Restaurant in Fairport. McArdle's is open 7 days a week with dining available indoors and out, takeout and delivery. Come home to McArdle's.
Came now to Eichel. He floated one.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Rochester Press Box. It's time for Unfinished Business. Pat Duffy.
So here's your weird numbers from last Monday night against the Kansas City Chiefs. Josh Allen only threw for 122 yards. Yet the Bills, with absolutely no running game, were able to march down the field for 3 full scores. That's at least 275 yards of total offense. Where did that offense go? It went into the Chiefs' strategy of stopping Josh Allen, which was commit penalties on purpose. It was a very frustrating game to watch because it seemed like every other time the ball went up in the air, someone in Kansas City was either pass interfering or defensive holding or illegal hands to the facing. John Brown got hit in the face 3 separate times and drew flags on all of them. And I'm not yelling about the referee, and they called everyone that happened. What was odd was that was the plan. Knock Josh Allen out of his rhythm by not letting him complete any balls. Take the penalties to sacrifice his confidence, and it worked. And then you look at another strategy on the other side with the Buffalo Bills. The Chiefs run for 267 yards against the Bills. The plan coming in was to stop Patrick Mahomes from throwing it all over the field, and they did. And here's the weird part. It almost worked for the Bills. Justin Zimmer gets in and rips a ball out, thinking we thought it was a fumble, having the ball with under 4 minutes left in Kansas City Chiefs territory. If the Bills score there, they take the lead. So you had one team taking penalties on purpose to keep the quarterback from being successful. Another team allowing almost 300 yards of rushing to keep their quarterback from being successful. And both of them were in the game with 3 minutes to go. What a weird year for NFL football.
All the early complaining about a bubble in the NBA is just now a moot point. Basically, everybody's copied some sort of bubble. Baseball has isolated their teams from certain games, especially the World Series, which is in a neutral site. NHL did the same thing, and you might see it for the NFL playoffs. But one of the interesting things about this bubble is it cost $180 million to put people into this bubble. What was the return on investment for the NFL? $1.5 billion. They were able to broadcast, of course, get revenue and stream. It was a great move for the bubble, even though it was met with a lot of hostility, yet it paid off in the end, and everybody's copying it. Only makes the NBA what I said it was before, the leader in sports.
Hey, what are some of the longest shots in sports you can think of? You know, the go-to is Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson. You also had the New York Jets winning Super Bowl III as a 19-point underdog against the Baltimore Colts. Or the Rochester Rhinos soccer team winning the U.S. Open Cup by going through 3 MLS clubs and beating all 3 of them as one of the great moments in local sports. Those things all pale in comparison to something that happened in Las Vegas this week at the Westgate Sportsbook, where someone slapped $40 down on the New York Jets to win the Super Bowl. This year, it was 5,000 to 1. It's a 5,000 to 1 bet. $200,000 is the return on that. You can't get odds on that on mine winning the Boston Marathon, and I'm coming off of knee surgery. So look, the Jets are 0-6. They are 0-6 against the point spread, and they've lost to the point spread by an average of 11 points per game so far this season. Vegas has taken serious money on them going 0-16 this year. It makes playing the lottery seem like an investment. Note to the Bills on Sunday. Please don't lose to this team. That is our program. That's Unfinished Business. And guys, nice job. Appreciate it, Tariq.
Always a great time talking to you guys. And good luck to the Buffalo Bills. They'll right the ship, Duffy. Don't worry.
Hey, Bill, I love how your knee is the reason why you wouldn't win the Boston Marathon.
At 5,000 to 1. That's the reason. Hey, everyone, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week for the Rochester Press Box.